Michael Kuenzler, of course, the owner with All Family Pharmacy. Michael, thank you so much for joining us on Right Side Broadcasting Network.
Thanks for having me, as usual. I appreciate it.
Definitely. A lot of people are liking your guys' independent, pharmacy. A lot of great choices there. It's pretty easy stuff, streamlined. But let's dive into one of those medical topics about parasites right now. Why is this whole parasite cleansing important even for people living in the United States?
Parasite cleansing is becoming a very popular thing. Obviously, people think parasites, they think third world problems. Parasites are here in the United States. Between our food, our travel, the environment, our animals, our dogs, our cats, we live on a farm. Everybody should be doing a parasite cleanse once a year, just to be preventative of your overall health. It's nothing wrong. It's a safe and effective medication. As long as the doctor says you're okay to take it, I don't see why you shouldn't do a cleanse.
Yeah.
Right? We want to protect the gut.
Exactly. And then I heard about, actually my wife was telling me about this the other day, like, hey, we got to clean, go through some different pillows and sheets and stuff. Parasites, can go into all that stuff too, right?
Yeah, it could be anywhere. You could go to your favorite restaurant, and if they have refrigerator problems over the weekend, it could be in your food and you don't know, right? The health inspectors only go to these restaurants every few months. So they're not regulating them on a daily basis. I'm not saying the restaurants are not refrigerating their meat properly, but something could happen and the business could still push the meat through and you could gain a parasite. You hear about people getting food poisoning all the time from this.
Right.
You should be concerned about that.
So what are some of the most common symptoms of a parasite infection that people often overlook?
Fatigue, bloating, skin issues, brain fog, that's a big one. Again, these symptoms correlate with a lot of different medical problems. Just like if you Google something, you see some of the scariest things in the world if you're Googling a couple symptoms because they all kind of correlate with each other. But again, a lot of people get fatigue and bloating from parasites. And, it could just be one small parasite, which, a quick, 15 to 30 day treatment could clear out and you'd be good for the year. I do them every, 3 months, 4 months. I love them. It does help with bloating. I mean, I'm not that big of a guy, but I'm still a big guy. And I feel less bloated when I take it. I technically kind of feel less inflamed in my knees. I have arthritis in my left knee and from time to time it helps with that. But again, that's, not guaranteed.
But the question is how often should someone do a parasite cleanse? And then how do you know the right dose of ivermectin or mebendazole? And is that what a parasite cleanse is? I need Idiot's Guide for all this medical stuff because I'm glad I'm talking to you about it. So can you break it down for us?
Yeah, so I suggest at minimum once a year, some people twice a year. If you travel a lot, if you like to go to the islands, if you like to go outside of the United States, it's definitely highly suggested to do it when you come home. Whether you have a parasite or not, you want to kind of just flush everything out of your system. I used to go to Mexico when I was younger, and I'd come back with some serious symptoms from drinking the water and eating the food over there. And we loved vacationing over summer. They had a lot of family hotels over there back then. But I wish I took ivermectin because I had, I always came back with the same symptoms every time. And it's not just Mexico, it's everywhere. A lot of these countries, they have, certain things in their water and their food that, we here have government regulation to protect ourselves. But when my father was alive, he would take ivermectin once a month or once every 2 weeks, at least one dose. And he lived in Nicaragua. And that was just the norm. They knew what was in their food. They knew that there's possible contamination. And so they would just, do it in a preventative manner. And it was safe and it was effective. And the whole population does it. It's not something that they think about. They just do it. And, here we want you to take the right dose. And we have a dose calculator that's going to help you take that dose that's specific based on your weight. One of the reasons why we're throwing mebendazole in there now is because mebendazole is specific to certain types of worms. And it's got some, off-label use for antioxidants and anti-inflammatories that we're starting to find out a little bit. But these aren't guaranteed studies. It's not large trials like, the FDA will put through. These are small trials or trials done on animals. But again, there's data there, giving us that information based on it. So we're going to encourage you, if you're going to do one of these parasite cleanse, A, use the dose calculator. It's going to tell you the accurate amount of medication to take based on your weight. And then B, speak with a provider, speak with a healthcare practitioner, a doctor, a physician's assistant, nurse practitioner, anybody in the medical field that's licensed to guide you through that process. We provide all of that. We provide pharmacists on staff to help guide you through it too as well. These medications have been around for 40 years, so we know the safety and effectiveness of them.
You were bringing up two countries that I've been to, Mexico and Nicaragua, Managua in Nicaragua, and then of course in places like Reynosa in Mexico. They were both back in college for various, mission trips, that kind of thing. And so in Mexico, to your point, I remember drinking some of the water there, some of the food, eating some of the food, and definitely was in the hospital. That whole Montezuma's revenge thing, and I guess there was a parasite, that kind of thing. If I would have even known the word ivermectin, I would have taken it. I didn't know about that then, but so anyway, just to your point, it's so true. But that's still something that can happen here in the States, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It could happen anywhere. Again, I want to say all small businesses and all large businesses do what they're supposed to do, but at the end of the day, you never know. You can walk into a dive bar and grab a burger, and that meat couldn't have been refrigerated properly, and there could be a parasite in there, and you ingest it, and it infects you. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's a chance that it can happen. So we just want you to be preventative and just take care of your overall health. Some people may say, I'm not doing it. That's quite all right. Everybody should be able to make their own decision. And I think that's what we're built off of, is we're building a healthcare system within ourselves to allow patients to make that decision, as long as that decision is guided by a doctor or a physician who's going to help walk them through the safety and effectiveness of all of these different medications that Big Pharma doesn't want us selling because they don't make money.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of ivermectin. My wife and I are big fans of it because it's something that will take care of business, And I have another question before we move on with our general line of questioning is, so I remember I was in New Jersey one time. I'm not going to name where I was at. I was at a pizza place there, and I saw some slices of pizza that were out on display. And you know how you go into places, let me get a slice, that kind of thing, right? And the pizza looked like it was there for a few hours. And I don't know why I did that. I just was hungry. And so later, I had food poisoning. So is the parasite situation, is that what causes the food poisoning, or it could be E. coli, or what is the whole situation there?
That'd probably be more bacterial. I would be more concerned with meats rather than dairy. That's probably the dairy issue. A spoiled dairy or a bacteria in it from being left out. When it comes to parasites, traditionally you find them in red meats, pork, beef, stuff like that. So I wouldn't be suspective of that, of ivermectin helping for something like you went through. But again, if I go to a pizza joint nowadays, thanks to RFK Jr. and all these, new conservative movement trying to make everybody healthy, I don't like to order a slice that's been sitting there for 2-3 hours. I ask them to make me a fresh slice, or, just order the pie. I mean, I have 2 kids, so we're going to eat that whole pie.
It's funny. A lot of people across the country, some people call it a pizza pie, and some people just say, can I get a pizza? So I'm glad you're calling it a pie like I do. Let's go get a pie of cheese. Anyway, so are there any side effects or safety tips to know when using ivermectin or mebendazole?
Yeah, so you'll find out if you have an allergy to one of the medications. It is very rare, but they do occur. Like, we just had somebody a couple days ago, and she was talking with one of the pharmacists, and she thought she was taking too high of a dose. And we told her, if it's an allergy, regardless of the dose she's taking, it's going to cause, the same symptoms. And she said she broke open the capsule and only tried to take half, which you never know if that's an actual accurate dose of half, because when a capsule, everything's mixed together properly. And she still caught the same symptoms. So it's an allergy. There's hundreds of side effects listed, and if we have to go into specifics, I'll tell you the top ones. But, legally wise, there are over 100 side effects, just like every medication. You can watch the commercials now on TV, and the guy's speaking really fast when it comes to side effects. But it's diarrhea, upset stomach, dizziness, A lot of that comes from, upsetting the stomach. But, we're always going to encourage drinking plenty of water. We want to flush whatever's out of your system, and staying hydrated while taking these medications.
Definitely. And so what benefits overall, again, or changes can people expect to notice after completing a cleanse then?
Yeah, overall health, right? The one thing is the brain fog. So you'll wake up physically as well as mentally better every day, and getting rid of that bloating could, encourage a little bit more of that physical activity, the physical side of things. So traditionally speaking, you're going to get overall general health. And what we've noticed over the last, I would say, 8 years is protecting your gut. Everything comes from your gut, right? Your health, your autoimmune, your immune system. So we want to make sure that you're protecting your gut. And the first thing you can do by protecting your gut is killing the parasites that are within there that are causing a lot of these symptoms. Which, is a great thing to do. And, we're always going to tell you to do your own research before coming to us, because we love when people come to us and they're informed. But we also like informing people. The one thing that we want to, talk to people about it when we inform them is that, we are a business. We're not trying to mislead them. So if we give them too much information, in the government's eyes, we're misleading them. And that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to let you make the choice. And if you need guidance, we have pharmacists, we have doctors, we have individuals on staff that'll help you make the informed decision, the safe decision, and the effective decision that's going to better overall your health.
Yeah, it sounds like a common sense pharmacy that you have there at All Family Pharmacy. And finally, sir, I know that there's a 10% off right now with the RSBN promo code, but is it 25% for ivermectin, and also is it mebendazole?
Yes. So we just lowered the prices on ivermectin and mebendazole. We know everybody in the industry is increasing their prices right now. We're actually trying to lower them. We think it's the right decision to make. We've become a big player in the game when it comes to online pharmacies. Our costs are dropping, and instead of because we're family owned, instead of the family trying to capture more profits, we've decided to drop the price by 25% to encourage people to come to our pharmacy. That's who we are as an American business. We're here to put the patient over profits. We're not big pharma. We're not going to throw a patent on a drug and try to charge people $1,000. Mebendazole from the manufacturer, our price is a little over $600 for one chewable tablet. You can buy one of these cleanses, 60 capsules of that 100 milligrams for, I believe it's $120, because we compound it here. We compound it based off of the physician's directions. So we're going to consistently try to do what we can to make the cost more effective for everybody, for all Americans that want to come to our pharmacy and utilize our services. And
it's awesome. And it's an easy, 1, 2, 3 step. It's basically go online, select the medications, then a doctor would prescribe the order, right? A pharmacist would fill that order, and then it gets shipped to your door. It's those 3 steps, right?
Yes. So you place the order. You can place it one of 2 ways. One, you fill it out on the internet. One, you call us over the phone. We have licensed technicians. We have customer service agents. We have everybody now answering phones, because more and more people like to call and talk to somebody live. They want to make sure we're a real, legit business. Obviously, you can walk right in our store and talk to us. No problems. But yeah, they place the order. That order goes directly to a licensed physician who's licensed in your state. Every state is different. They have their own state laws. So we have to abide by all of those state laws. And then once the doctor consults and makes a determination if the medication is appropriate, they'll prescribe it. Keep in mind, our doctor declines medication. They deny it from time to time. And they deny it due to the safety and effectiveness for you as a human being. They're not denying it for big pharma or for anything like that. They're trying to protect you and protect us and themselves. So we do get those from time to time, and we refund the money back, or we give you an alternative route. We give you the option to choose. Do you want to try an alternative route, or do you want your money back? And, people have come accustomed to that, and they're happy. So, once they place that order, we have our licensed technicians fill the order. We compound the drugs on site. And then the pharmacist will check the medications before they're made if it's a compounded drug. And then a pharmacist will check the order before it's shipped. So there are lots of layers of protection. All of our medications third-party tested. We have certificate of analysis to prove it, to make sure that everything is up to USP, which is United States Pharmacopoeia standards. It's the highest standards in the world. That's one of the reasons why our drugs are so expensive here in the States. But again, we do everything at the top standards. And if we can do it at the top standards and drop our prices, I think we'll become America's #1 pharmacy at one point. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and it's great to see that. Great to see independent pharmacies using common sense just to help we the people out there. So Michael Kuenzler, the owner of All Family Pharmacy, thank you so much. And thank you so much to all the people that you guys have there that arrive here on the show as well. I hope you have a great day and a great weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I forgot to mention that RSBN 10 coupon. So technically you can get 35% off ivermectin and mebendazole. And then we have a Substack we're actually starting live where we're going to give a lot of information for our medications. And this is going to be written by individuals with PhDs or doctors who are going to give people more information about these drugs. And if you subscribe to it, it's free. And we'll give you coupons in the subscription. So, you might even be able to catch a bigger coupon than 10%. Who knows?
That's awesome. Allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN. Michael Kuenzler, thank you again for joining us on Right Side.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You too, sir.